Hello, this is Steve.
Uh, yeah. Is this the guy that makes them videos about that M&M Harley-Davidson?
Oh yeah, this is Steve. Hey man, what can I do for you?
Yeah. I've been watching you on the YouTube, and my wife's really upset with me because all I do is watch you on the YouTube. I need to know when you're gonna finish this M&M bike so I can turn the TV off. My wife will quit bothering me about watching you on the YouTube.
Oh geez, I hate to hear that. Well, you're in luck because I'm fixing to start the video right now. Okay, let's do a recap so that everybody's caught up on what's going on. So we've got the cam plate, new set of cams, hydraulic chain adjusters, all that stuff in place. We have the ignition module installed. It's wired to the crank position sensor. We saved his tack wire for later. It's wired into 12 volt switched power, and we have it wired to the new single fire coil. And we already have the breather now installed, the back plate, choke mounting bracket right there. We have the fuel line already connected, and I think that's where we are supposed to be right now. I do have a fuel filter in line. This is going to be hidden away back in there like that. I'm putting 2 fuel filters on this thing because of the potential condition of the tank. So we just want to make sure we don't have any stuff going into the carburetor. I did put in, he had a couple extra trinkets here. He wanted me to put an extended shifter on there. I've still got to button up the connection here for the shifter. This was a new shifter rod he wanted put in. So that's where we are right now. I am currently waiting for one more throttle cable. I had one break on me, so I've got another one coming. That's the idle cable. It's not that important to make it run, but it's important to make it right. So that's where we are. So let's get started with the installation of the push rods. That's where we left off. Okay, this is the part we've all been waiting for. Push rod installation. Gathering up all my stuff here. So, push rod installation. Let's put everything down here on the workbench. Let me grab the correct wrenches. So we're going to collapse these push rods down all the way and put one inside of its push rod tube. But first, we're going to make sure we put the seals back in place. Forget the seals, you get to redo it all. So don't forget your seals. Pre-lubricate them so that everything goes together with ease. And these will push right up in the top here fairly easily. You can always tell if it's in there right. Okay, now let's work with the inside one first. So we'll go all the way up in the top there. All right, so the front cylinder is complete. Now we're going to go ahead and rotate the motor 180 degrees. We're going to match up our timing marks, and then we'll do the rear. But I won't bore you with that process. So I'll catch up with you when we get the tank back on and the exhaust back on and we're ready to fire this thing up. So hang in there.
A few moments later.
All right, so it's been a couple of days since I've worked on this one, but in the time that's passed, I've gotten the gas tank mounted, crossover done, the exhaust installed. The exhaust that came, or that was on the bike, was the stock headers, and it had fishtails on it, but they were so corroded and rusted on the header pipes I couldn't get them off. So I had a spare set of factory mufflers, and I just donated those to the project. I personally think that these classic bikes represent themselves better when they're quiet. Just my opinion. So with that said, what I'm about to do is put some fuel in here. I want to check for fuel leaks. And then we're going to try to get this thing started. All right, we got some fuel in it, and I want to check. So we got the petcock turned off. I want to turn the petcock on reserve. And I'm looking for fuel leaks here. I don't think we have any. Let's look at the crossover. No fuel leaks there. I only put about maybe a gallon of gas in here in case it was leaking. So there we have that. Now, I know the battery's charged because I charged it overnight. And let's see what happens. I'm just going to roll this thing live and see what we can do. Let me set the camera up right quick. Let's see if we can show some real world action here. Okay. Now, let's turn the bike on. Put a little fuel in there. Pull the choke. We are in neutral, and let's see what happens. That's real, people. It's knocking a little bit. We gotta get some oil flowing. We got a stuck lifter, it sounds like. But it runs. First time you saw it live. All right, man. All right, I'm gonna shut that off. What I'll need to do is go in there and double check. May have to go in and replace the lifters. But that's where we are right now. So that was actually live. First time start. Pretty impressive if you ask me. That don't happen like that very often. So that's where this is going to stay. I've got to investigate the situation with the lifters, which is not going to be a big deal. And then we'll move forward past that. All right, hang tight.
And now for something completely different.
Okay, let's go over this project because it's winding down to the end. So in a previous segment, you heard where the lifters were ticking. That wound up being nothing. It was just the fact that this bike had been sitting for so long, the lifters had basically had no oil in them. And after running it for a couple of minutes, it went silent, which is great. That means the lifters are good. I did have to retune the carburetor just a smidge to get it working correctly. But as you can see, this thing runs beautifully. And let's see if it passes the start test. Look at that. No throttle. Starts right up. All right. So, with that being said, I'm going to call this particular project a success. There's a few things I have to button up. I've got to put the floorboards back on, put the chrome cover back on here. Just a couple little detail things, and this bike will be ready to go home. Man, I sure do appreciate you guys stopping by and taking the time to watch these videos. I really enjoy doing this. I'm fortunate to be able to do this every day. If you ever find something you love and you can do it and it makes you happy, stick with it. All right, man. Well, I appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one.